Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing good today. Alright, well after some thinking I've been able to think of another good story that I have for you, alright? And this story is actually interesting because this one actually has a moral at the end, alright? So, this story is when I was 7 and 8 years old. This is the story when I won my school spelling bee. Twice. Yes, twice, because that is actually very important with the story and the moral. Alright, so I remember when I was in second grade. So like I said, when I was 7 years old, school was saying, hey, we got a spelling bee going on and whatnot. And I don't necessarily quite remember how everything went. Like, I don't remember, I know it definitely wasn't mandatory. I don't even remember what the admission was to do it. Bottom line was that I was in it. Me and just some of my classmates or whatever. And when I was there, we were all sitting on a stage. And the audience was basically filled with other students and parents. So I've got my own little seat. I'm around all these other kids. I have no idea who they are. I don't care who they are. I'm just thinking, okay, will I be able to spell my next word? So as typical spelling bees go, you wear like a number on your shirt. They call your number. You go up to the mic. They give you the word to spell, and then you spell it. If you got the word right, you got to sit back down in your seat. If you got it wrong, then you would basically get off the stage and walk down. Now, I don't remember if you walked down to like a little specific table or if you got to sit back with your family. I think you had to sit at a specific table because I think they were gonna congratulate everybody who joined anyway. But yeah, so I'm there. They calling words and whatnot. They calling people's numbers. I'm going up there. And I'm getting the words right. And then as time goes on, the numbers start to slim out. And next thing I know, it is just me and some other girl. And ironically, I don't quite remember, but I think that girl may have been actually my classmate. I don't remember. Yeah, I think she was actually my classmate. Check this out though. I get called up, and I actually remember the word that I had to spell, and that was everything. I had to spell the word everything, and I remember I was shaking, my heart was pumping, I was like, oh gosh, I knew the word. Like I said, that wasn't the challenge. It's, you're up there, you feel the tension building in the room with the announcer, you, my opponent, everybody else in the crowd. Like I said, my family is there, like my mom, my dad, and my sister. So I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, everything. EVERYTHING. And then the next thing that I know, the moment I'm done spelling it, the whole auditorium just rises and yells and starts clapping, and the announcer is like, "We have a winner!" And I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, I don't know. It was like a shock to my system. And I don't know. It's like the announcer, the woman, she had asked me, did I have any words to say or whatever. And it was weird. It was like, I wasn't 100% composed. I guess because I was just in the shock of it. So like, I'm trying to utter out thank yous. I'm like, I want to thank my mom. I want to thank my dad. And I remember I was in the process of trying to thank my sister, but then I started to cry. And everybody in the audience are like, "Aww," and they just started like clapping and whatnot. And that was actually really good for my self-esteem. Mostly because, like I said, I'll more than likely tell you more stories about this later on. But when I was in school, for most of my time in school, mostly in elementary and middle school, not really that much high school, but I was bullied very, very badly. I'm pretty sure all of you. I'm pretty sure you were too. but it was in my elementary and middle school years where it was just really, really bad. So me being, just a kid, low self-esteem, not a lot of friends, and him winning a competition, that did a lot for me. That made me feel good about myself. And I remember when, I went back into my class. And okay, like I said, I kind of get mixed up the events of if this happened when I was in the second grade or when I was in the third grade. Because like I said, it happened. We had two spelling bees one year after the other. But whether it happened either year, I just remember one time I went back into the classroom. And you know what? No. I'm gonna say that one because I do remember that was when I was in the third grade, when I was 8 years old. So actually, let's fast forward to that. Next year goes by. Oh wait, but before wait, rewind just a moment. I remember when I did win. Of course, my dad is super proud. My mom is super proud. My sister's super proud. And I don't know. Everybody was just they were happy for me, like my teachers and just everybody. Remember that. Because, and I have to say my teachers and my friends, just, other kids, but remember the other kids part, all right? Hold that thought. I will go back to that, all right? So we fast forward to next year. It's the spelling bee all over again, all right? Now, this year wasn't all that different in terms of what happened. Very slight differences. Like, I remember that one of my teachers, I don't know, I think a few of us got selected to be in the spelling bee again. And I remember this time we were training. I don't know, we were it's like reading like dictionaries and like spelling out words. That part is somewhat irrelevant. But I remember that during the second year, it followed the same format. I think you had the numbers on your chest and blah, blah, blah. Okay, check this out. I don't remember, I don't remember all the details. All I know is that I won again. I won 2 years in a row. And this time I kind of knew what to expect, so I didn't break down in tears like I did the first time. And I was able to get all my thank yous out. I had to thank my sister because she was slightly upset about that the previous year. She was like, "What did you say? You thanked me too." I was like, "I did," and I started crying. But check this out though. I remember when I spelled my last word. It was right before it was about to happen. Like the announcer, I think, I don't know if it was a man or woman, it doesn't matter, but they were just like, if you spelled this word right, what's gonna happen, right? And I was just like, yeah. And they gave me the word. I spelled it, and this is like a small detail, but during that time, that was actually when my vision was starting to blur. So I actually did not have glasses at the time, but I remember I was going to need glasses. Like I ended up getting glasses in the 4th grade, so basically the year after. This detail is actually important because I remember when I was up on that stage, with my vision starting to, blur out, everybody in the audience I can barely see. Everybody's just a little hazy. I did make out where my family was, but I remember when I spelled the word right, I saw the figure of my dad jump up. Like, it was like the first one up and just started like clapping when I won a second time. All right. Check this out though. After the little, ceremony was over, got my little spelling bee trophy and, everything else was over. I remember when I went back to my classroom. Okay, 2 things happened. The first thing, like I said, I went back to my classroom. I think, another classmate of mine, or like 2 or 3 of us, went back into the classroom. The whole class, I don't know if they talked about it or if the teacher told them to do this, but they were asking us for our autographs or whatever. I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know, it made me feel a little bit special. They're like, "Can I have your autograph? Can I have your autograph?" I thought that was kind of cute. But check this out. This is the main point that I'm getting to. Other students, both that same day and many days after the spelling bee was over. I believe it was students in my class, students who weren't in my class, people who didn't even know me. They said that I cheated. And I remember when they said that, I was stunned. I was like, how the heck, like, what? And basically, I think the thing that was flying around was that, I don't even know how the hell people come up with this stuff. I don't know, just whatever the ego can create. But I think they were saying that my dad was mouthing the words or whatever. Like I said, that's why I brought in like the glasses thing. Like I said, I can barely see like anybody, but I don't know, they said that he was like mouthing the words or whatnot and blah blah blah. But here's the funny part, and this is the moral of the story. When I won the first time, and I will specifically talk about the students here, not the teachers, not the parents or whatever. Heck, who knows, maybe the parents. I doubt it though. I'm just saying that my peers. When I won the first time, they congratulated me. The second time, they thought I cheated. The moral of the story is that sometimes people do want you to succeed. They do want you to do good. However, for some people, they don't want you doing better than them. They don't want you doing too good. Alright? So, the message that I am trying to get, the message that I'm trying to, I guess, tell you, is that in your life, you will definitely succeed. You are going to do some really freaking amazing things. Things that may even shock you. And when you do those things, you may encounter some people who are not gonna like it. Bottom line, haters gonna hate. Okay? Alright? Some people may just not like you just succeeding the first time, like period. Other times, people may be cool with it the first time, but if you start doing too good, if you're doing too much, like, I don't know, if you're winning too many awards, if you're making too much money, if you're getting too much publicity, if you're just succeeding more than they are, then they will have a problem with that. My message to you is don't even pay any mind to that. Do not water down your talent. Do not turn down your shine so other people around you can feel better. No, you go as high as you can. All right, I don't care what it is that you're doing. If it means, you know, if it means something to you, if you know you've worked hard, you know, you keep shining. All right, you keep shining. All right, that is very important because that was actually something that was getting to me during I think even that time too. Not specifically with the spelling bee, but I can, like I said, this will probably go into other oh my gosh, sorry, I think I'm talking too much. This will probably go into other stories in the future, but you know, I was a good kid in school. You know, I got good grades. I was a mixture of a straight A student and an A/B student. Like I very rarely got C's, and it was always in a math or science related subject. God, mostly math. But yeah, that was the same thing. You know, I would get good report cards, and you know, and the kids would be mad at me. You know, that I was doing better than them. You know, and I guess that made them feel lesser, and that may be the case in your life. You may be in the process right now or later or before, you probably already experienced this, when you did something really admirable. That was something that was really cool. And some people may not have liked it because it made them feel lesser. You know, it's like they're around this person who's shining and now they don't feel as bright. Do not put other people's issues on you, all right? You keep succeeding, you keep climbing that ladder, and you keep shining. All right? Now, I hope you enjoyed that video. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when my videos are going up. And to show your support by donating to me, I have donation links in the description. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.